all you over 940 subscribers. Welcome to John Talks Indian Cinema. I am your host, the Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 10ish-minute review. Okay, before we get to this, one of you fellow maniacs out there, one I respect, I won't tell you the name, but they gave me a little critique. They said one of the reviews they watched were pretty boring. And I took it to heart, so I'm trying to figure out ways to spice it up a little bit. I'm thinking about maybe revamping my review system, where instead of doing grades for story, music, maybe I'll do like the five things I liked, the five things I didn't like, and then an overall. I don't know. I got to do something to spice this up. I don't want to lose people because they're bored. You know, I've been called a lot of things in my life. Boring is not one of them. Now, that doesn't mean it wasn't a boring show. It might have been. But having said that, so the film I'm going to review is a film that I did a trailer reaction on, and it just came on the streaming service, and I really wanted to watch it based on the trailer. So I am reviewing 2025's Fateh. And I'm glad I watched this. Now, let me say this up front. Based on the trailer, I did not know that it was pretty much a remake of The Equalizer with Denzel Washington. And it definitely was that. Again, not a critique. And it was Hindi's version, because some of the motivations were very different than The Equalizer. But there were some things pulled directly from that film. I also have to say, especially like the opening scene, it had a definite Matrix vibe to it too. Even some of the music they used during the fights was that rhythmic music that you heard in the Matrix. Again, I'm not criticizing it. I just didn't know that's what this was going to be based on the trailer that I saw. But anyway, it's directed by Sonu Sood, who also plays Fateh. I've seen him in Dabangg and Simmba. Jaqueline Fernandez, who I just saw in the film Kick. And she was gorgeous in that movie. She was also in Attack and Brothers. Vijat Raaz, who I've seen in Gully Boy, Dehli Belly, Kathal, A Jackfruit Mystery. Naseeruddin Shah, who is in Wednesday, Sarafrosh, A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, an actor I am a huge fan of. Not in this film. Not in this film. I'll get into that a little bit. And Shivjyoti Rajput, who played a small but key role in this film. Okay, so the story. The story is about a dairy farmer who comes to the aid of a girl in his village and ultimately is going up against the what's the word they used? Something mafia. It's about the loan mafia. So this one guy's going up against the loan mafia, which apparently, as I did a little research on this, is a big issue in India, where these apps that will give you a loan, while they end up basically hacking you and blackmailing you to get more money. And so he's got to beat this loan mafia, where Naseeruddin Shah plays Raaz. He's the top guy. He's going to stop him. And along the way, there's some fight scenes. By the way, I think I read some of the reviews on this, and they weren't very kind, but I thought the fight scenes were fantastic. I thought he was great. The way he moved, I thought the music, very violent, very violent. I mean, the scene opens up in a restaurant, black suit, black tie, and he's surrounded. by all these people. And basically, he takes them all down. Oh, I guess there's going to be spoilers. Well, look, if you've seen The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, there won't be any spoilers. But I'll give you 5 seconds if you haven't seen this movie yet to walk away because there will be spoilers. And five, four, three, two, one. Okay, so that scene happens, and then they flash back to because at the end of the scene he gets blown up, basically, and he's lying on the ground. Now it flashes back. Now it starts to tell some of the stories that he works at a dairy farm in Punjab. So through the course of the story, he discovers this whole loan mafia thing, this big scam, and frankly, his whole what's the word I want to use here? Well, it doesn't matter. So he's trying to figure out why this is happening because the whole village is under the thumb of this loan thing, and this one girl, uh, uh, Nimrit, is kind of in the center of it. And through the course of the film, you find the bad guys, and there's some flunkies that work for him. And if you remember in the Equalizer, that one bad guy that was pretty awful. Well, they have that guy in this too, and he's played by Vijay Raaz Satya, and he's got some good scenes. Um, so why is it like the Equalizer? Well, he's OCD, and by the way, I wrote. Now, this is before I knew it was a remake of The Equalizer. I didn't find that out till afterwards. I mean, I figured it out as the movie went along, but at one point, he was doing something, and I wrote down on my notes OCD, The Equalizer. So he's got the same OCD. He's got insomnia. His character. He does crosswords to keep his mind busy. Um, so so the story, I'm going to give the story a two because it was a pretty much a straight remake. Again, the motivations were different. In the Equalizer it was Russian mob, it was prostitution. In this one, it was this loan app thing, the financials. So the story was a two. The performances, I have to tell you, and again, I read the reviews, and poor Jaqueline Fernandez absolutely gets crushed. Look, do I think she's taboo? No, I don't. Do I think she's Anushka Sharma? No, not even close. But I don't think she's quite as horrible as some of the reviewers think she is. She's first of all, she's absolutely beautiful, and that's hard for me to get by. So I put that and then the acting. When I see her. But I thought Sonu was really good. He was very his character was very John Wick, much more than I thought the Equalizer. Um, Now the bad guys were good. My problem was Naseeruddin Shah. What a waste of him. First of all, the whole movie he's in this computer room with a woman, his right hand woman, and you can tell the whole thing's green screen. Like there's not a lot of practical stuff within this room. He's also wearing a hoodie the whole movie. Okay, even at the climax where he finally gets to see Fateh. And here's something funny that I caught. So Fateh gets his file because he wants to know who the big boss is. And in the file, his photo is wearing a hoodie. Okay, so apparently this guy's costume. I don't know. Now, I will say that the scene at the end where they do finally confront each other was good because I think Shaw's a great actor. I love him in just about everything I've seen him in, and it was good to see them playing off each other. But it was almost like they probably filmed his scenes in a day. I can't see it taking much longer than that because he wasn't in it that much, and when he was only in that room. So I thought that was kind of a waste. But overall, I thought the performances were excellent. I thought he was, like I said, he carries the film. It's about him, and the action scenes were great. Physically, he moves really well. The choreography was great. I even think his direction was pretty good. He did some real interesting things with the way he framed shots. Again, you can always kind of tell a first time director because they want to do these really visual things to like, hey, even though I'm a first time director, look what I can do. And that was some of that in this, but actually some of it I really liked. I thought it was interesting choices, the way he shot stuff. There's also like a fight scene in a hallway that's right out of Old Boy. That there's I don't know 90. I think there's 99 of these guys going after him, and he takes them all down through various weapons. It was a great scene, but it's kind of it's ridiculous. Um, so I am going to give, based on the strength of his performance, I'm going to give it. I'm going to give the performances a 4. I will also say that the girl who played Nimrit, like when she was captured and she ends up actually being killed, it was just a terrifying scene. They hook her up to an electric chair and post it online, and the more people that view it, the electricity pumps up, and once it hits 2 million views, she gets fried, and it was harrowing. And you think for a minute, well, they're going to figure out a way to stop this. They don't. It was awful. The music, there was quite a bit of music. The first song is over the background credits, and it's called "The Almighty," so it's kind of setting that up. Second song, he's going to New Delhi to investigate what happened to Nimrod, and the song is "Walk the Path to Victory, Fateh," and that's a song that is a reoccurring song throughout the movie. I guess it's Fateh's theme, right? Um, Yeah, the third song was after Nimrit was killed. The flashbacks, memories of her, and that kind of built up the fact that he wanted to take everything down. That's kind of what that was. There wasn't big, huge musical numbers, which I liked because I think sometimes it makes a movie way too long. I thought the incidental music, like I said, there was this pounding Matrix-like music that fit this to a T. And when she's about to get electrocuted, that music was just like all it did was add to the tension of that scene. Um, but like there was a couple things I'm going to call out today. The music I'm going to give a 3 because it was incidental music for the most part, and I thought it was fine. But there's a couple of things that happened. Like at one point, he nail guns a guy to the wall. That was great. But I will tell you, there was one scene that really annoyed me. And this was not a long movie, so I appreciate the fact that it was short. But he's gonna go to the penthouse of the bad guy. He goes in this elevator, and I think it was either 4 or 5 like goons, thugs go in with him, and they work for the bad guy, right? So he's standing in the middle of them, and it was like Captain America, Winter Soldier. He's looking back and forth at everybody, right? Then the doors close. Now it finally gets to the penthouse. The door is open. He walks out, and everybody's dead. So they didn't do the scene. Now maybe they filmed it and cut it out, but I thought it was kind of a cheat. Because I will say this, the action was great, but there wasn't, I think there could have been more. Now, the set pieces that they did with the action was really, really well done. I mean, really well done. I just thought they could have used a little bit more. And another thing, and I've been talking about this a lot lately with some of the fight scenes that I've seen. On these Hindi films, they tend to do 75% slow motion. They did a little bit of that, but for the most part, it was normal speed. And I think it just makes it that much more effective when you see that kind of like again, like the John Wick stuff. They don't slow that stuff down, and he didn't do that. That was a good choice on his part because he can move, and the stuff he was doing, and the other guys obviously were stuntmen was great. I loved the action in this. It was really really well done. So my verdict overall, and again, I read the reviews, and the reviews were not good, but I really liked it. So I'm going to give it a 4. I really enjoyed it. And again, I didn't know it was an Equalizer remake. It was different enough where it wasn't like a shot for shot remake. They copied some scenes, but it really wasn't. But I thought it was, in fact, I do want to call out one shot, and I don't. So this film isn't out yet to stream, so I can't. All I can do is post the trailer. I can't post clips from the film because I don't have the film. But there was one scene that was after the corridor scene, right? He's at the back of the corridor and the camera's here. And there's a guy sitting in the foreground, right? So he's about 30 yards down the hall or whatever the distance was. and the guy's in the foreground, but he's not dead. He's kind of moving around. Well, way in the distance, Fateh takes this axe and throws it, and it comes right out and hits the guy right in the head. It was just an awesome shot. Stuff like that I really love. Very inventive. Um, and finally, the the death of the bad guy of Raaz is off camera. You see blood, but you don't see anything else. And and I know these are, even though they're kind of violent, they're a little family friendly. So maybe that's why they did it. And I have to mention, I missed this. The one big musical number they actually did was at the end, during the credits. And it really is the only musical number, but it's a bunch of guys dressed in black, and black suits, black ties, and it shows clips from, I think, unused fight scenes. So that was really the big musical number. But I liked it. I thought the trailer did it justice, but it didn't give away that it was really the Equalizer, and the Matrix too. But I still enjoyed it. I call that a summer popcorn movie. You shut off part of your brain and just get into it. I wouldn't mind, and they do kind of set up a sequel. I wouldn't mind seeing this guy back. I thought he did a nice job. I thought he did a nice job in the direction too. If you've seen this, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it, because again, some of the reviews I saw were not good. But that's it. So listen, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and please share, because as of this recording, I'm at 941 subscriptions, ever closer to that magic 1,000, all because of you guys. It's been amazing. It's been slow and steady, which I really appreciate. But I got to hit that 1,000. That's the game changer. Hey, that's a movie with Ram Charan, right? It's a game changer if that were to happen. Okay. Okay. Again, to make sure that you are waiting till the end. Oh yeah. Okay. I got one. Hold on a second. Okay. The secret word, if you're paying attention, Ed 209. Ed 209 from RoboCop. Okay, Ed 209. ED 209. All right, thank you for the. No, he didn't say. You have 20 seconds to comply. That's what he said. Okay, that's it. We'll talk to you soon on John Talks Indian Cinema with either a trailer reaction or a 10ish minute review. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this wasn't boring.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.